Welcome to hell. Sorry. In the fire today, WWE 2K23. Is it badass or straight trash?
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring.
Hello and welcome everyone. If you're new to the channel, I am the ruler of hell, Lord Satinel. You may also know me by my nickname, the Lord of the Weebs. Make sure you watch to the end. I got a very special surprise today in store for all of you. Without any further ado, let's jump into today's video.
Want Stone Cold Steve Austin to open up a can of whoop ass on that sumbitch right there. Give it a hell yeah.
Slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
I guess we should start with the new and improved graphics. Look how lifelike it looks. It's wonderful. And it's absolutely pure trash. Does it look good? Sure. But is it different from last year's? I think not. Let's run some side-by-side comparisons. On the left side, last year's game. And on the right side, last year's game with some makeup. I mean, the new version. Okay, so they used last year's game as the base. That doesn't mean it's not great, right? Well, wait and see.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate.
So clearly, they spent all the time and effort on making the other modes top-notch with no issues then. Let's take a look at My Rise, a mode where you create a character and it's a journey from the start of your career to your rise in the WWE. This year, they made 2 linear story paths for men and women. Surely this isn't their way of saving time and effort by making 2 shitty linear stories instead of making a fun story mode you actually want to play, right? Well, as the guy you play as, The Lock, in My Rise. And it's just terrible.
Hell yeah.
No idea why it's called My Rise when you're strapped into the roller coaster ride someone over at 2K made, and it's the most lackluster and boring ride. It's all predictable with no real choices that matter or affect the story in any meaningful way. This feels too familiar to me with 2K19's buzz. The storyline involved your character signing for WWE and talking about how they were too good for NXT and then getting cut. The Lock has a similar vibe in saying no to creative decisions. The Lock is perfectly titled because you're locked into the shitty story and watch your superstar throw temper tantrums left and right and act in no way like you want. But hey, it's your story. This is your rise. I knew I can hear it now. But Lord Satinel, what would you rather do than play My Rise?
Look at the garbage. Frank, just nasty, dude.
We'll say the ending is good in My Rise if you can stomach it to make it to the end. The last 2% is where you can recruit people to join your group, and you get a selection of 22 to 24 people. You gain recruits mostly just by wrestling them or wrestling someone they want you to hurt. More of that would truly embody the spirit of My Rise. So overall, My Rise is not worth the time. Leave it at the door. Well, it's not looking good, but let's check out my universe. It has a lot of potential and you can control a lot of stuff. So if you're into being in charge of everything, this is most likely the mode for you. But being able to cut promos would really add to it and give you a lot more control. And the rival actions should be worked on more. I want heel and face options that interact with each other better. You can only stomp and chair someone in the back so much. A back and forth system would be cool, and some options that play off you losing would also add some flair while you have these big build-ups going into the pay-per-views. But they are fun and a step towards the type of game you actually want to play. I can't say too much. I can't make it past week 2. The game keeps crashing on the match I want to play. Apparently, the WWE won't let you beat Roman Reigns even in the video game, and they crash your system to save his title over and over. After the 4th crash, I gave up. A solid mode if they bring back the promo features and work on the rival system a bit. Let's talk about the gameplay and the identity crisis this game has. If wrestling is a work or a shoot, they can't decide. They don't know. The people at 2K must never watch wrestling, or they smash a 5th of whiskey and spin on the office chair 10 times before trying to read and recreate wrestling from the cliff notes of the previous WWE shows. This is supposed to be a wrestling game, but over at 2K they're trying to make Street Fighter 6. What do you mean there's a DDD combo? I'm here to grab grown men in a ring and not have a slap fight. They put so much effort into the strike it for no reason. These people are not going 10 rounds against Mike Tyson's. Why can't they duck and weave in my wrestling game? They feel like they want to put too much mixed martial arts into a genre that doesn't facilitate it. I'm also not a fan of luck mechanics. Guessing the button press to reverse is annoying instead of just a standard reverse button from the previous games. Playing in a match can sometimes have you feeling helpless if you end up missing an opportunity and then never able to recover without burning special meter or guessing correctly. It doesn't feel fun, and if you turn the AI down too low, it's like you're wrestling body pillows. Hello, Daniel. You're playing it a lot, so it must be fun. I'd rather have Edge and Christian kick in my door and concerto me. For those of you who don't know what that is, bam, you're welcome. Let's talk about my GM mode quickly. It's actually a fun mode to play with friends, and it's pretty solid with power-ups. The downside is it's a couch co-op only still, since they used last year's game as its base, and they can't figure out how to do it online, which would honestly be simple if they put real time and effort into it. A missed opportunity to sell more copies of the game, actually. Now that we've seen where the devs skimped and cut corners, let's talk about where all the time and money went. Drumroll, please. My faction mode. The game mode where you spend money to open packs to gamble. Where the surprise mechanics are. To build a powerful team. They are called surprise mechanics for reasons like, I was surprised at what a piece of shit game this was for the fucking cost. And they throw this in your face every time you boot up the game. It tells you about it and the button prompt of X, which most people hit to skip through dialogue, auto takes you to the mode where you spend real money. What a fucking coincidence. And you can't back out of the initial setup of it unless you close the game and reboot it. It's outrageous, honestly. It would be the same as waking up and going downstairs to grab coffee or an energy drink. However, when you start the morning and walk by the front door, the local heroin dealer kicks it open whenever you walk by and says free heroin for the first time. And if you don't ignore him and just walk by, but engage with him in the slightest way, he slams the needle into your vein. It's so outrageous. You would think EA owns 2K. It's the same formula Madden has been following the last 10 years. Time for the final verdict. I'm sure you are on the edge of your seat and unsure of where I'm going, but let's get the drum roll for the big reveal. This game is straight trash. The older games were better for many reasons, with the new games cutting more and more out of it to fit at tighter and tighter deadlines. The older games weren't 2K, who wants to be a sim so badly, when wrestling games work best as an arcade experience. It's a wrestling game that's ashamed to be a wrestling game. It wants to be so much more. But to be fair, That's from the ground up, as Vince is ashamed to be a wrestling promoter and wants to be something more. I think the only way to make a good game from 2K would be to move to a 2 or a 3-year cycle instead of every year. But they won't do that because it's never about the quality anymore, but it's always about the money. Thanks for watching. Before I show you the bonus footage, please like the video if you found it enjoyable, and comment down below your favorite wrestler and why they're your favorite. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified about my next banger of a video, and finally, please share with a friend you know who would enjoy this and help spread the word of Satinel. Here's the bonus footage that I negotiated for. Yeah, that's it. Negotiated. Let's take a look at next year's game. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you WWE 2K23. Oh my god. It's gorgeous. It's controls. It's like I'm playing Street Fighter. Alright, fuck this piece of shit game.
I got nightmares in my head, I feel